Because if you don't have it completely like the blue notes, you make those notes kind of stand out. All right, and then here's where I had like some fancy stuff going on. Alright, so really quick, if you have Discord and you haven't already joined the Discord down below, be sure to do that. Also follow all the social medias down below and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button and enjoy the video. Alright, so here we are into creative once again. Actually, there's been a few things that have happened before we go ahead and hop straight into this video. So the first thing is, when I ended up creating that Mario remix video that I had, I think a few days ago, I think it was 5 days ago to be exact, something like that. A lot of people had actually enjoyed that. It had around 225 views as of now, I'm pretty sure, so it's been doing pretty good compared to like my other videos. And I just completely made that by ear and everything. I was listening to the song and then I was like, okay, I gotta try and make this as best as I can out of these note blocks, and overall it went pretty well. But on the other hand, I was actually watching just some videos on YouTube, and I actually saw one of Ali A's, which should pop up on your screen right now. It was this one to be exact, and at some point in the video he said something like this:
if you guys make anything crazy within the musical notes in the world of Fortnite, do send them to me. And if you can make my intro like the second part, like this part, but even bigger, even better, even crazier. If you could get 2 of your friends to run along, that's probably the only way you can do it, is get 2 of your mates to like run along side by side and duplicate the audio, make it nuts. Send it my way and I may feature it in a video.
So I was like, okay, so he ended up mentioning something about 2 people walking side by side to do something like out of the ordinary or something like that. And I was like, okay, so I can make a remix of his intro song, but if I was to do that, I would have to have 2 people, and the only bad thing about that is, yeah, you can have 2 people, and it actually might even sound better to have 2 people like go, and then you just have like a whole bunch of like crazy stuff going on. Or you could actually use these new things. But then I also thought, what if both of the people don't start at the same time, and there would just be like a whole bunch of hectic with all that going on. So I was thinking, what if I end up using these things, which are I don't even remember what they're called. What are they called, dude? They're called a music sequencer. So a music sequencer basically makes it where you press the play button over here and it plays like the song or whatever that you have played, that you have for this current like entire line, and you can change the width or the height of it, or even the length of it, I'm pretty sure, as well. And then you can change the tempo and a whole bunch of different things with the settings that you can do here. You can even make it on a loop too. You can trigger it to be an on and off switch. Also, these things can make people take damage too if you were like end game or whatever. But anyway, so I spent time on this. I was like, what was something out of the ordinary that I could do? Because a lot of people, whenever they make a song, it's just something like this. Like, you know how you've seen, if you guys haven't already seen my Mario remix that I created, I made this in a video a while back, but this was something that, you know, a lot of people would just do. Like, they would make their own song and they would do something where it's just a whole bunch of notes like put together and stuff like that. But actually, if you wanted to get even more complicated with this, you could only place like so many notes around each other. I think you have like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 notes that you could put in a circle around each other. But if you wanted to even make it more and spicier for the song, you could completely just make something like I have right here. And I didn't go super in depth into this because it's gonna take a long time to do it. I could definitely work on it a lot more and make it a lot better, but just with like time I have right now, I don't have a whole bunch of time to work on this. But I did spend around, I think, like 3 hours to 4 hours working on this, so overall it was pretty much worth it. But so I have each of these different segments that play like a different part to his intro song. As I was making this, I wasn't like officially recording. I only have like so many like small segments that I ended up recording of it, so you guys will see that I created this in case if you're like,
well, no, what if somebody else came into your island and started building it?
But no, I ended up building it completely by myself and just listening to the song and adding my own things into it, and overall I think it might be pretty good. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys right now what this completely like bass, the bass chorus sounds like, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you guys will have to wait for. The only bad thing about this is that whenever I start the song, like I can start it by stepping on it, right, and it starts playing the song. The only bad thing about it is getting it perfectly timed when it restarts, because this will play once and then it will restart because it will be on a loop, and then I have to play this directly when that plays. So the only thing that I could think about that is that if you place it like right in front of it, then it will start to play, and I could do that. But then, I don't know, it's just kind of easier, because then if I was to do that, then you can just make them all connect in a straight line. But I don't necessarily want that, because I want some of them to like play twice and then others to play. I don't know. I don't know if it would be easier to do it like just in a straight line or if it was what I did. You guys can probably figure all that stuff out once I actually like show you the sequence that I'm playing them in. So here's the bass line of the song. So that was basically what I ended up creating, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm gonna add at the same time that should hopefully make the song sound pretty good. But I'm gonna go ahead and like go through the entire sequence of me like creating the song, but if you don't want to see me creating the entire song, I'll go ahead and put up like a timestamp right here that shows when we actually listen to the entire full song. Alright, so around here I was just testing all the different notes. This was creating the first bass line, and I was just getting like the original like chorus getting going on. I think I ended up looking up the original song. There's been like different variations of the song posted online, but I looked up the original song by Future House Music is what Ali A said that he originally ended up using. So yeah, I was just doing all of that pretty much by ear. Then I just continued on to like test a few things, and I think I ended up coming across an error here. I wanted to make this kind of like a quick part that went like dun 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 dun, and I was getting that like, it took forever to get that part because I don't know, I just had to like, because you can have the note blocks on a certain grid snap, but I had to turn off the grid snap to get it like perfectly in tune or whatever, and I had to like shift a whole bunch of note blocks once in a while, but overall I think I finally ended up getting it perfect. Alright, and then here was the other part that I ended up making. I wanted like a background beat to it. Can kind of hear that there. So I thought that was pretty neat. Then you can change a different tempo and stuff with it as well, but I wanted to make sure that I got it like right on point, and then you have to time it directly right on point too. I think the tempo might have even been a little bit faster on the bass line. Alright, and then here goes the like kind of electric sounding parts where I was just like copying the direct like chorus line and then making it in this. And I had to be careful because there were like, you have your like middle C and high C and just the different notes that can be an octave higher or an octave lower. So you needed to keep that in mind, but after a while I ended up getting it. But this was another part that was kind of time consuming. Alright, and then this part I thought I got a little bit creative here because I wanted to add the red notes in this, but I didn't want it to be completely like the blue notes, because if you don't have it completely like the blue notes, you make those notes kind of stand out a little bit. And you can kind of hear how like some certain notes like stand out once in a while, and I thought that that was gonna be a good addition to the song instead of just making it, because I've seen a lot of people where they just completely layer the entire notes, but what if you just make it where certain ones stand out? So a little bit after I ended up testing out a few more things, making sure that all the notes were good and placing the same ones. It was just easier to place the same ones if you had the same notes. You could place it in like the same positions and stuff like that. Then I tested it out. So you can see especially how at the end right there you can hear the dun dun instead of just hearing like every single note. I think that was like a good addition. Alright, and then here's where I had like some fancy stuff going on. You can hear like the background beat and stuff like that. And then I had to time everything together. Then I even had clapping going on. And that's almost pretty much the final result, except you guys didn't hear the entire song yet, so we'll get to that soon. Alright, so here we are, we're back into it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, oh geez, I did not mean to start that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the little like process of me creating this song. And now I'm actually going to show you the entire thing of it like all synced and correlated with each other, which hopefully I get it on my first try. The only bad thing, like I said earlier in the video, is making sure that all of them are synced up exactly with each other, because if they're not, then it's kind of like where you have to restart the entire thing all over again. So that's the only downside to this thing, but the good side is if you ever wanted to create something that was like really complex, it'd probably best be to do it this way instead of this way, because even though this way actually will sound good if you play like a whole bunch of notes and stuff together, if you do it this way you get like what if like let's do a little math here. So if you have like 8 options per like one line that you get, instead of just getting 8 options, you can have 8 here, 8 here, 8 here, and 8 here. So if you had 5 of them, then you would have like 40 different options that you could have of just like straight lines just for one song instead of just having 8 options. So altogether, I think that would be pretty good, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the final result of the song. And yeah, that was pretty much it, the final result of the song. So overall, I think it was pretty much all put together well. I think I could have maybe added a few more things, but I couldn't decide exactly what to add. But I could definitely add on to this in the future, or maybe just keep this forever. And here we have our Alley A intro song, and then over here we have our Mario song, and I think I might just call this like the music world and create like more music songs over there, because it seems like a lot of people have been enjoying them so far. If you have any ideas of what else you would want me to create for like the music songs and stuff like that, let me know and I'll try and see if I can create it. We can go as complex as this, or maybe just as simple as that, but either way they both ended up sounding really good. So overall I was pretty happy with it, and yeah, I hope you guys liked it as well.